Right. Kshay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Just
Krishna.
one time
How are
start.
you? Are you able to hear me? It's audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can hear you very clearly.
Nice meeting you, Prabhu, again in person. At
Yes,
least via Zoom.
yes, Prabhuji.
Now, Zoom is in person.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
You know
So,
what Guru Maharaj said about Zoom?
no, 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 what he said?
He said that I am zooming into your house.
Okay.
Like when the COVID was happening, we did not know what to do, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That time, Guru Maharaj used to come to everyone's house, just visiting so that he inspires us. That time he used to say, I'm seeing everything, and he used to catch everyone, even their altars and the practices. That's nice.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Zooming into your house. This is what Guru Maharaj says. Okay, we'll start.
Um, Maybe we can wait for one more minute, Prabhuji.
No
So
problem.
the more devotees join, and I'll also send reminder in the group.
Is this a part of the SJM group, or it's the same as Throwback what Anadi used to do it?
Yeah, like this is part of Iskcon Seshadripuram only, and started by Anand Prabhu.
Okay, yeah.
Same that we are continuing Prabhuji by
Please,
putting
we're
this.
missing really him.
Yes, Prabhu.
As I think Loknath Maharaj and even Indradumna Maharaj said sometime back, last week he said, the loss of for us, gain for someone else. As soon as Gopal Krishna Maharaj passed away, so at that time, he said it's very easy. We lose a devotee, but it's very difficult to get a devotee.
Yes, Prabhu.
Those devotees who are lost, it's actually gain for others. Okay. I see some familiar faces. I mean, not physically, but at least the names are familiar. Okay. We'll start with the prayers.
Yeah, just do a quick introduction and then you can take the session, Prabhu.
There's nothing introduced needed. What is the introduction needed? Maybe
Okay,
I can.
I'll do
Okay.
it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Hare Krishna, we welcome all the devotees for today's Throwback Thursday program. And it's a great fortune that we have with us today, His Grace Vishal Gauranga Prabhuji. So, like when I was in Bangalore, so Prabhuji used to, give us his classes and used to inspire us to do bhakti. And Prabhuji is practicing Krishna consciousness, since 1990s. So, it's our great fortune to have given a very senior god brother of us among us, who will be sharing the different pastimes with Guru Maharaj and teachings from Guru Maharaj, which Prabhuji may like, and we can implement, imbibe in our life as well. Yeah. So by chanting one time Hare Krishna, we would like to welcome Prabhuji.
Hey,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Over to you.
Thank you. That was the fastest, you would probably say. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sarkajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Jajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nityamini Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayane Gaurakathadamataya Nagara Gramatarane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyodipasya Tadeshtarane Mukam Karati Vachalam Bhagavangai Pirim Yatkrapathamam Vande Shri Gurum Dintanam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Nilachara Nivasaya Nitya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannatha Namaha. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak a few words I am not qualified, definitely not. There are many more devotees who are much more qualified than me, or probably even more empowered, which I can't think of. They are more empowered by Guru Maharaj's grace, Prabhupada's grace, but still somehow or the other by the Lord's providence and some devotees' costless grace that I was invited to this Throwback Thursdays. I remember it's very, very old times that I did one time with when Anadi was here, and it used to be a very instructor oriented, more like the practice which we all have to imbibe. Because it's easy to have a lot of pastimes. No, the pastimes primarily is an inspiration, no doubt about it. This is the grace, Guru Maharaj's grace, that he was always present. He is always present for all his devotees. Many actually other disciples of other sannyasis, gurus, they come and ask me, Jayapataka Maharaj has so many disciples. How do they even contemplate that? How does he reach every one of you? Does he even give time? I don't think, actually speaking, Guru Maharaj gives the maximum time to each and every disciple. If you have some inclination to connect with him, send him an email. Now, physically, he is not able to meet everyone and then talk and all that. But in the olden times, we used to get a lot of time. To be honest, he used to give uh, hundreds of hours. Now, whenever he comes for a Rath Yatra, whenever he comes during a visit, because those days many devotees did not travel to different areas. Now it is like Guru Maharaj is Mayapur, so all the devotees come to Mayapur. Right? In the olden days, it was never the case. Guru Maharaj used to travel to each and every center. Either he comes to Bangalore, he goes to Chennai, from Chennai, he goes to Coimbatore. But the fact is that his complete worldwide trip used to actually start from Australia. In December, he used to go to Sydney for Rath Yatra. And from there, he comes to Coimbatore around the first week. And that's the Rath Yatra period. After the Rath Yatra is done, he used to go to Chennai. After the Chennai Rath Yatra again, around 14, 15. Now that all the Rath Yatras are shifted, right? It's all shifted and it's been put in the same time as when Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra happens in Jagannath Puri. So, but in the olden days, it used to be the early times, the January period is quite a lot of Rath Yatras compiled, almost like 3, 4 Rath Yatras during that period. So, Guru Maharaj's travel used to come from Coimbatore to Chennai, Chennai to Bangalore, and then sometimes, so one time actually, he also attended the Belgaum Rath Yatra, which Loknath Maharaj, so devotees, Atul Krishna Prabhu and others, they used to, and that time Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj was not a sannyasi, but he was a brahmachari, Devamrita Prabhu. So then this used to be scheduled, and then he used to go and then go back to Mayapur. So every year, this used to be the same pattern. And in between, after either Janmashtami or before Radhashtami, he used to come to Bangalore. So, but what interestingly used to happen is that every visit, Guru Maharaj always used to ensure that all his devotees are doing well and they are strongly, closely following and practicing, for which he used to give certain set of instructions, which every time we see that it used to change. Like, for example, he used to ask, how is your chanting? Let's do a japa group workshop. And then he used to inspire everyone to nicely chant and hear to the holy names. Sometimes he used to make sure that, okay, let's have a Gita reading session. So continuously he used to have 2-3 days. Maximum he used to stay is 2 days or 3 days. And in that 3 days period, he used to have a constant, a Bhagavatam class in the morning. In the evening, he used to give a Bhagavad Gita class. So, but then we were wondering, most of the devotees at that time, we didn't have like how we have now at this point of time. You have mentors, you have counselors, you have got someone who can always guide you, right? And you can always go and talk to your Bhakti Viksha leaders and all that. Those times were very less because we knew each and every devotee in the temple area, even among the congregation, because it was not too many. It was very handful, and we had a set of devotees, and then we used to constantly be interacting. So those were the days when, in fact, even Guru Maharaj, for that matter, uh, he knew almost all devotees' names. I don't know whether he knows the names now, But at least in the olden days, he knew most of the devotees' names, because now the devotees are thousands and thousands now. I am talking about in 90s, where you get a chance to meet at least around, say, 100, 200 devotees. And we used to bump upon only the same devotees. Whether you go to Chennai Rath Yatra or Coimbatore Rath Yatra and or Belgaum, so all the time you used to meet the same devotees. So we know that these are the devotees who are very prominent, or they are the constant. So if you suddenly don't see anyone, then we know that, oh, there is something wrong with this guy. He's not either not well or he is up to something. So we used to catch hold. So like that, Guru Maharaj was always focus centered on bringing a family kind of an atmosphere. This is very, very different from anyone else whom I have seen. He always used to push this thought that we are a part of Krishna's family, and he always used to give a lot of emphasis to the congregation devotees. Even though we were an offshot from the Hare Krishna hill, that's a big temple, when the Jagannath Mandir came up, so Guru Maharaj's instruction was that you can do it, you will all be able to execute Prabhupada's instructions very nicely, and then you can progress spiritually very stronger. So if you notice, even in natural sense, right, understanding and following the instruction of the spiritual master is definitely a must for our own spiritual practice and progress, right? Prabhupada explains this beautifully in one of the Bhagavatam lectures, and also quotes from Bhagavad Gita, right? Instructions of the spiritual master and the faithful personalities as disciples, the execution of the instructions by the disciple makes an entire process completely perfect, right? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains this in this verse, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, that one who wants to attain or achieve spiritual success, they must follow the instruction of the spiritual master. You should try faithfully, attempt faithfully, practice a particular instruction if it's been given to you, and should consider that as his life and soul. And that faithful instructions, which is received from the spiritual master, must be the only thought process, focus process, and the duty of the disciple, which will bring him perfection of life, right? Because it's not so easy. Let's make it something like a little interactive, right? Otherwise, it becomes a little monologue, and I probably may not be knowing the pulse here. How many of you here have got some kind of instruction directly or indirectly? Can you raise your hands? So, or probably you can share it by unmuting yourself. Yeah. I can see one person, Madhvi Rajput. Yes, Madhvi, what kind of instructions have you received?
Guru Maharaj told me that you should chant your rounds very nicely, and he more in his email he told me that I should chant very attentively. So that was the instruction that I have got.
Excellent. See, there is one direct instruction which has come. Even though it is not direct, it's a normal instruction for everyone, right? We should attentively chant. We should be concentrated when you're chanting. We should not be bothered about anything else, because chanting time means chanting time. Reading time means reading time. So Prabhupada's instructions are normally there, right? But we should not feel bad that Guru Maharaj has not given us an instruction, or it is, why is that Guru Maharaj has not identified me to tell something which I think I can follow for the rest of my life. It's pretty normal not to give direct instructions unless until the spiritual master knows these instructions are very essential for this particular person and he needs to understand it. Because if you don't follow the instructions, then that becomes an offense. Prabhupada gave a standard set of instructions for all of us, whether anyone who is in Iskcon, as a part of the followers of Iskcon, right? So what did he say? Books are the basis. That means study is a must. So Guru Maharaj, even though you can practically see that, even though he is not well, he is still focusing on completing different levels of Bhakti Shastri, right? Bhakti Shastri, he wanted to complete Bhakti Vaibhav, he completed that. Bhakti Vedanta, he completed, he is working on Bhakti Sarvabhauma. So that's the inspiration, right? So Prabhupada gave this foresaid, books are the basis, so study is a must. Then preaching is an essence, right? Utility is the principle. And then eventually the purity comes into the perfect picture, which becomes the force. If you follow the first three instructions, then we will actually come to the level of pure state. So this is what Lord Chaitanya wants us to be, right? This is the fundamental or a basic essential qualification for us to go back. The question is that we all have to ask ourselves of how many of us are attempting to follow these kind of very systematically these instructions of Prabhupada, right? So which can determine our path back to God. If you are not, we can start. Definitely we should start. Nothing is late in this practice, in this world. Everything is auspicious for a devotee, right? So, but nevertheless, this is very essential for us. Prabhupada explains very, very many times in some of the places, a sincere devotee who follows the instructions of the spiritual master actually gets the instruction from the Supreme Lord himself, because he is seated in the heart, right? Sarvasya chaham riddhi sannivishtam matarspiti jnanam apanancha. So Guru Maharaj's instructions can actually be the practical instructions of how Prabhupada also wanted us to do. Instructions can be through the books, instructions can be through physical words or example which the spiritual master is actually giving us. Like for example, Guru Maharaj has written or translated many of the books. One of the books is Vaishnava Ke. Such a wonderful book. Godruma Kalpatavi, another wonderful book, right? These are the kind of books we should actually contemplate and read and understand how beautifully a devotee can mold himself. That gets a great inspiration, right? Because spiritual master is giving us through inspirations, through an example, right? This great inspirations, what we get is what is actually going to be for the rest of our life. Whether the spiritual master is present or spiritual master is not present physically with us, the instructions is going to be with us for the rest of our life. Because anyway, we have to leave our body one day or the other. It's a temporary world. So the more responsibility, the high responsibility we need to actually take up to go back to Godhead. And that is not just alone for us. It is also that if we can pick up a couple of others along with us, and that is the magic which actually is through the inspiration of the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada showed all these kind of things. Great acharyas of our parampara has showed, like Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya, Shyamananda Pandit. Beautiful examples. They showed how a disciple can actually take inspiration, take instructions, take that kind of a message from previous acharyas and follow this. Generally, Guru Maharaj doesn't give direct instructions to anyone, but he may consider or he would do so on his own discretion, thinking whether this person will be able to accomplish or not accomplish, right? But when Guru Maharaj's instructions are being followed, you are for sure guaranteed a success. I have not seen anyone who is not following his instructions and failing it. Guru Maharaj told me one thing. That was in November, last November, when I went to meet Guru Maharaj actually in Mayapur. I don't know if you had a chance or everyone here installed the Kathamrita app, not the Kathamrita app, the JPS app. I'm sure most of them, right? So you would see a lot of updates coming through, right? I don't know if you had a chance to see one of the updates which said that I met my dear disciple, Vishal Gauranga and Amala Manjari Devidasi. So when we went there, actually now it's become so tough. We can't practically go there because Guru Maharaj's health conditions are so much. They're very, very clear and conscious about who can go, who cannot go. And many of them actually don't even have a chance to meet Guru Maharaj in person. Maybe some of the leaders, if they have very, very important services too and discuss some kind of important decision-making situation, then they get a chance to meet Guru Maharaj. But in the olden days, it used to be so. So when I went and met one time Guru Maharaj, I told Guru Maharaj, the amount of time you have given me during my younger days, I don't get a chance anymore after 2008. Some or the other, either the servants are not allowing us to come and meet, So Guru Maharaj immediately saw one of his servants and said, "Did you not allow him to come and meet me?" So I said, I felt like, no, Guru Maharaj, not him. Some of them feel that it is not to disturb you. Says, I am not being disturbed anytime. I want to be with the devotees. You would see one spiritual master who doesn't have any private life. Even when he's sleeping, even when he's going for a shower, even when he's eating, or even when he is doing anything on his own personal practice, as a person, he doesn't have a chance. He literally doesn't have a chance to meet on his own. He doesn't have a space. He is all the time sharing the space with someone other than even in his room. When he is sleeping, there are two people who are sitting next to him. Can you imagine? There is no private life to Guru Maharaj at all. And then he identifies every disciple. He knows every disciple's heart. He has got a massive Paramatma connection, which is very, very rare. I have not seen many people, but definitely Guru Maharaj has this Paramatma connection that if you feel like Guru Maharaj, you're feeling very low or something like that, you go in front of Guru Maharaj's photo and you think of him and you pray to him, and you will feel some kind of connection, that you will get some kind of a message or an email, or someone will talk about Guru Maharaj outside your house and talk about, like, Guru Maharaj wants to know what is the status of yours. This is something uh, which is not seen many, and especially with Guru Maharaj. Yes, I have seen many instances of this nature, that some devotees want to know what to do and they are a little anxious, and suddenly you get an email from Guru Maharaj. Maybe it's a coincidence, but still it has happened that not anyone and everyone gets this kind of an option. But Guru Maharaj does give some kind of instructions, a few instructions. More than instructions, he gives directions for all of us, whether to preach or how to preach, how to bring people slowly overcoming their difficulties. And he keeps asking all the time. The first time you go and meet, he will say, "How are you? What are you doing?" and all those things. The next time you come, he will say, "Hare Krishna," and "How are you?" and all that. The third time you come, he will not ask about you. He will ask about how are you bringing someone else with you. You can see that difference, right? He knows that the first time you come, you are Komal Shraddha. He knows that you need some kind of assistance. The next time you come, you know it, that you're serving spiritual master, you're serving Srila Prabhupada, you're getting stronger in your spiritual practice. Then he will definitely ask about others, that how are you able to bring. One instruction I noticed is when actually we were in airport, he noticed one person did ask. He was not even an initiated devotee at the time. So he asked this question, and then automatically he said, he asked, "What can I do for you?" Guru Maharaj said that, "I want you to be happy and chant, and also make others happy and chant, make them chant." So this devotee, even though he was not an initiated devotee, he started taking that as a sort of instruction for his rest of his life, and he became very serious. He started practicing very nicely, and he got initiated, but he started continuously inspiring others to chant and to be happy and to bring up all these things. Just like how Lord Chaitanya is telling that I am a gardener, but I have a lot of harvest and I need people. And that people are you all. So please come over, pick up something or the other, and then harvest, give that love to others. So that distribution of love from the garden cannot be done by one person, can be done by many persons. So we are being chosen, and we are also being connected to the Guru Parampara by such an illustrious spiritual master, right? We have seen many of Guru Maharaj disciples, right? Very illustrious devotees, many devotees are there. Every devotee is illustrious, undoubtedly, because they have taken that special final step for considering themselves to go back to Godhead. So in that manner, those devotees are definitely being glorified. But Guru Maharaj does definitely spend some time and more time with each one of us in some way or other. But if you feel you are not being given that period of time, don't hesitate to send an email. And definitely Guru Maharaj will respond to it, because he's got secretaries who are actually helping him to respond to all these mails and messages, so that ask some relevant questions, or that is very important for you and it is changing. Don't think that, no, I sent an email 4 months back, I have not got a response. No, you will get a response. It's just probably taking some turns. And don't send an essay. Send an email to Guru Maharaj by bullet points. He will definitely respond to that on our first priority. This is something which I can tell you, right? So it is very important, even if it's, for example, right, a simple instructions or simple thought process of how to take care of your beads. Please be very careful with your beads. Guru Maharaj told one time that, I am not initiating your beads. I am initiating you, but I am giving you my personally chanted beads. And that means that it's very essential for us. The olden days, if you lose your beads, and it is almost next to impossible to get another bead, because Guru Maharaj would not give it. At least now is little, I don't know whether it's the costless days, but he did give it to a couple of people, because one Mataji, I remember, someone stole her bag, and then she lost her purse, everything, and that included the beads also. So when she asked me, I went and asked Guru Maharaj, this Mataji lost her beads because someone stole her bag, and in the temple. So this happened, and then Guru Maharaj said, okay. But more or less, instructions from the spiritual master should be considered as the Supreme Lord's instruction coming through him. So that means to say that we as conditioned souls now are ready to take that final step. But that final step is very, very essential for us. If you don't take it serious today, it's not going to be so easy later on, because the days are progressing and we are losing our time, right? We are becoming more and more adapted to the kind of situations we are in, and it's a big challenge. We need to improve upon our own spiritual practice. We need to be very conscious about it, that we don't have much time in this world, right? Because today we are 40, tomorrow we are 50, day after tomorrow we are 60, and we don't have time. Who knows how many days, how many moments we have a chance to live in this world, right? I don't know how many of you know about the temple president of Sri Rangam, our temple president, Iskcon temple president. He had a beautiful friend of him. They both are actually, anybody knows his name? Sri Rangam temple president? Okay, no sound.
Able to recall, bro. We invited him for our program. But no.
Oh, you invited him for the program? Did he come?
Yes, Prabhuji, he did come with Mataji. So they worked together.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Gopati is here. You should be asking Gopati Krishnadas, what is he doing here? I saw him, Nandaputra is sending, and you should ask him to talk. He is a repository. He has got so much information about Guru Maharaj. He'll be telling stories, right?
Yes.
Now, I want to tell this instance of how futile this world is. It happened so that Nandaputra Prabhu was not a devotee at the time, but he was trying to be, and he was planning to go quite often. He used to go to Trivandrum temple. One time he was actually cycling with his friend in the college. He had not even joined the temple. So this is the pastime I heard from one of the devotees. And then I cross-verified with Nandaputra Prabhu, and then he said that he was cycling with this devotee, with his friend, but how things change so fast is a great example of this nature. They both are cycling and they are going back from college or from there. Somewhere on top of them, there was an eagle, which was actually carrying a snake. They didn't see that. This snake was captured by this eagle, but somehow or the other, from his talon, the eagle could not grab the snake, and he left the snake, and the snake fell on his friend's neck, and then it bit him everywhere. Within a few seconds, the person who was there with him is no more. Right? How futile this kind of a world we are in. So we literally don't even know how long we are going to be in this world. So taking something which is coming through some more other way, the causeless grace of the Lord, we should simply accept it and then become more serious practitioner. Right? I am actually very indebted to be included in this wonderful platform. But I see some extraordinary Vaishnavas in this box that I don't even feel like talking or anything like this. I can see my wonderful mentor, my blessing, Aradhya Vaishnava, Sukakar Krishna Prabhu is here, Gopati Prabhu is here. You should be asking all of them how beautiful Guru Maharaj's blessings are into all of us. So, can I request Sukakar Prabhu to talk a few words? If it's okay with you all. I think he is muted.
Prabhuji has given a
Prabhu?
session as well.
Sorry?
Prabhuji has already come to our session as well.
The
Prabhuji,
more he talks, better for us to hear.
Hare Krishna.
Ah, there you go.
Vishal Gauranga Prabhu, I saw your name. I just thought I had to jump in because you are such a wonderful Vaishnava. I met you in Bangalore and then you went to London. Prabhu is such a wonderful, prolific, serving is so much to the core. And I really miss you so much, Prabhu. After you left, I really lost my part of my
I
life.
missed him in 2002, 2001. 2001, I was with him. I went with him to Ajman and Sharjah. And that used to be a very different times at that time. And thank you for inspiring, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I came to hear from you. Let me hear from you, Prabhu, please.
Well, I feel personally that many devotees here are very qualified and highly qualified. The more important for us is how we can adapt that mood of our spiritual master. Guru Maharaj somehow has this mood to preach, and he is not bothered about anything else. Any kind of difficulty which comes through, you'll say that all the difficulties will go off if you can continue to preach. So that mood has to be imbibed by all of us. So the instructions of the spiritual masters, the practice of the spiritual master is by an example, and he is an exemplary example of Srila Prabhupada. One devotee here in England, he is also a Prabhupada disciple. He said that Prabhupada had a beautiful, this Mattarapa, what is this shloka which says,
Matta Partalam Nanyate Kinchitasti Dhananjaya.
So this pearls are already there in the necklace, right? These pearls of necklace is in Srila Prabhupada's neck. Each and every pearl is a Prabhupada disciple, right? These Prabhupada disciples are there in this beautiful necklace, but each of them have a beautiful glowing effulgence. Someone can glow amazingly, and that glowing amazingly is our Guru Maharaj. And he has got so much of abundance of glow that in the olden times when we used to have Guru Puja, if you really want to know what Guru Bhakti is, you should go to Bengal or to East Bengal, which is Bangladesh. They will uproot the spiritual master from the root itself. And in those olden days, in 90s, when we used to have Guru Puja, it used to be in Sulab Kitchen in Mayapur. And we were youngsters. And what we were basically interested was, oh, Guru Maharaj will give us one samosa or one bread bhaji. That is the idea behind going to that place. And then it used to be a full dhoom-dham kirtan and all that, Sri Guru Charana Padma, and in the Bengali style. They used to have a dhoom-dham kirtan. But we were only interested, okay, Guru Maharaj will give one samosa, or I can squeeze to get 2 samosas like that. But actually speaking, that attracted us near to him. But after that attraction, we never thought about the samosa or the bhaji or whatever. We are attracted to his lotus feet. We are attracted to his instructions to preach. And we continue to do so in our own best abilities. And Guru Maharaj never questioned one thing. He never wanted to offend anyone. He will never offend anyone, nor he will talk ill about anyone. That kind of instruction you should simply imbibe in us, right? There is no Gramakatha. I have never seen him talking some kind of unnecessary, unrequired talks. These are the practices which we as devotees should naturally take it. And this should come from the instruction, the spiritual master instructions from the senior devotees, and they should show it as an example for the junior devotees to imbibe. How much pleased Prabhupada will be that if we show that kind of beautiful mood and mindsets to serve the spiritual master, to serve Srila Prabhupada, serve Iskcon movement with these kind of wonderful qualities with us. So that is very essential for all of us, that we practice and by an example and show it even to our own family members, because five fingers are not the same. So we cannot expect everyone to practice and follow what is being told, right? But we should be accommodative and bring that slowly through the change from our own spiritual master's instructions. I'll stop if in case anyone has any questions or comments. Or maybe Gopati Prabhu can speak a few words. How is Guru Maharaj? I don't know whether you are in Delhi. You can probably give us a small update. Gopati Krishna Das Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Vishal Gauranga Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I remember once Guru Maharaj told Acharya Ratna Prabhu, who was serving as Guru Maharaj's physician on ground. And so once he was requested by the devotees in Kolkata to speak about Guru Maharaj. And and he told Guru Maharaj, this is the first time that I'm going to speak about you. What should I say? And Guru Maharaj told him that say something spiritual. So speaking something spiritual is the actual glorification of the spiritual master, and you did that very wonderfully, Prabhuji. I really appreciate that. It actually inspired me to be more serious in my devotional service and my service to Guru Maharaj, and to all the devotees out there. I would just like to tell you all that Amala Manjari Mataji and Amrita Saki Mataji, both these Matajis were kind of igniters of Guru Bhakti in me. And of course, Amala Banjari Mataji means Vishal Gauranga Prabhu as well. So in my beginning days, when I got initiated, later, I mean, like after 5-6 years, something like that, Amrita Saki Mataji, she really inspired me to serve Guru Maharaj very seriously. We shouldn't be a fan, Jai Gurudev kind of a devotee. The thing that she taught me was, we have to be dedicated to the Guru's service. Real love for Guru comes when we serve him nicely. And both the sisters, they taught me that. I'm indebted to them. And Guru Maharaj, about Guru Maharaj's health, yeah, he's better, I would say. And we are requesting all of you to pray. The best prayer you all can do is to chant your Hare Krishna Mahamantra nicely and follow yourself. I remember once Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu, while we were traveling from Kolkata to Delhi to go to the Vrindavan Safari, Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu, I know most of you all are aware of him, know of him. He told me that if all the disciples of Guru Maharaj, if they chant their 16 rounds nicely and follow the 4 regulatory principles nicely and do the fit enough to stand, that's the best thing that we can do. Of course, Guru Maharaj also has requested us to chant this Dhanvantri mantra, Narasimha mantra, some extra sadhana like circumambulating the Tulsi plant and so on. So if you do that properly, I think Guru Maharaj might be able to come out of the hospital as soon as possible. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for the advice and quick update about Guru Maharaj. Yeah, it's very important for all of us. I mean, prayers is the only one which I think can one thing which will work wonders is prayers. I mean, I remember in the early times when Guru Maharaj had a stroke and then he was in Coimbatore and AVP. He was being treated by the doctors, and then when I went to see him, and then he was sitting in the bed, and then I asked him, Guru Maharaj, do you want to take your lunch now? And he was still sitting in the bed. He said, I'm not a patient. And he said, I'm not a patient. I will not sit in the bed and take food. The prasadam is to be served in the table. So he made me, and there was another devotee. I can't remember. He's not there now. And we both lifted Guru Maharaj and made him sit. And now you serve prasadam. So every small instructions or everything which is very important for us, we need to take it from this example. And he is very meticulous and very conscious. This happened in, I'll tell you, in 2003. I was actually with Guru Maharaj in Navadip Mandal Parikrama, and I was also serving him in Mayapur. One night, one afternoon, it was almost like 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He just finished his lunch, and I was all alone. He was sitting and he was working on his computer. And then he was also feeling very sleepy. But he was very conscious that there is he did tell there is a personal servant called Daresh. I don't know Daresh Prabhu. Many of you know of him. He's a very wonderful Vaishnava. He's all the time. He's a personal servant of Guru Maharaj in Mayapur, and he's still serving Guru Maharaj. And he told Guru Maharaj that Amrish Prabhu is coming at 3:30. The time was almost like 2:30. Guru Maharaj did not take rest, and he was working on his computer, and he was preparing some PPT presentations for the GPC. So I was just massaging his lotus feet, and then Guru Maharaj was feeling a little sleepy kind of thing, and Daresh told me that make sure that Guru Maharaj at least takes some small quick nap before Amrish Prabhu comes. So I sort of pushed Guru Maharaj and saying, Guru Maharaj, you can take rest for some time. And so he turned and said, he saw it with the core of his eyes, penetratingly. He said that if I sleep, who is going to do these presentations for the GBC? Are you going to do it? I said, am I going to do it? I don't know. I didn't want to talk anything more after that, but because he was like straight on me. So then I once again pushed him for 2 minutes. Later on, he said that you are disturbing me a lot. I am going to take rest. And he went and took rest for a few minutes. Then I woke him at around 3:20. He was so conscious that he wanted to meet Amrish Prabhu before he came into the temple. And this is very, very important for us, that giving his time for others is a natural element for him. This one more instance which I tell you, it's very important, and I felt it. I remember Sukha Prabhu was involved in this. This was in Dubai, 2000. Guru Maharaj came, and we were in where Guru Maharaj was staying in Devi Mataji's house in that's the road I forgot, Sheikh Zayed Road. Sheikh Zayed, right? So
yeah, Prabhu.
So he was staying in this. I was alone in this thing. Sukha Prabhu immediately went and then, Prabhu, pack all the luggage as fast as possible because we have to rush to the airport. We have only half an hour. And every time it goes, it's the same story. Then Guru Maharaj will not tell anything to Sukha Prabhu. And he will catch one of us and then he will tell us, you are not packing the things properly, you're doing this, you're doing that and all that. And somehow or other, he took all this, and then there was another devotee, he packed all his Guru Maharaj luggage. He was actually flying to UK. So he packed everything and then he went to the airport to check in. When Guru Maharaj got delayed because he was talking to some devotees. Somehow or other, this instruction did not go through me. And then I was holding his bead bag and the bead bag slipped. And it fell off. He gave me his bead bag, and that time he used to have a danda. I don't know how many of you have seen him having danda. So this danda is offered to Narsindev in Mayapurdam. So it's a special danda. It's very powerful. It is actually Eti danda, means it is the sannyasi danda which is converted into that danda he carries. So he was holding the danda, before which he gave me the beads, and then he gave me the danda, and I had his sling bag. So I had too many things in my hand. I didn't know what to hold and what not. And he just gave it and he was talking to someone else. And then I slipped the beads and the beads flew out. And then somehow or other it fell off and then I caught hold of it. And he said, you are dropping my beads given by Prabhupada. I know, the beads were so big, and each of the bead is so big. It is like a small cricket ball. And it was so big, each of the beads of the 108. You can imagine that big. And then I realized, okay, we have to be very conscious when you are with spiritual master, especially when he is giving some instructions to manage things with it. So that so happened that these are some things which we can inspire. We can get inspired by how Guru Maharaj's instructions to us through his own practices. Many Vaishnavas here in this own entire, in this JSS itself, in this Throwback Thursday, are exalted. You should get some of them to talk who are actually imbibed. They have spent a lot of time with Guru Maharaj. I don't know if you get a chance to connect. I see, I'm just identifying some other devotees. Taruni Radha Madhuri is there. I don't know whether you have a chance to get her to speak. Sumitra Prabhu's good wife. She's from Madras. She has treasure house. She's a treasure house of Guru Maharaj mercy. She's a treasure house of all that we can actually hear. So these are the devotees whom you should take chance to get. So Akshay, identify all these devotees. I'm telling you the names. So you can actually connect and make sure, get them to give us wonderful instructions of how they spend the time with Guru Maharaj, how they could get more and more inspirations, and how enthusiastic they are still because of that few glimpses of that personal private time which Guru Maharaj gave them. Right? In the old temple, Guru Maharaj holded me and another devotee. Now that devotee is one of the secretaries to the North India Divisional Council. And Guru Maharaj just gave us a glimpse of how are you both doing. That's all the words. He did not even bother to ask us anything more than that. How are you both doing? How is it going? These kind of small words makes amazing feeling of connection. And that connection is what is making us to stay and serve Srila Prabhupada. And we have to continue because Prabhupada says, live in Iskcon, die in Iskcon. So we need to live in Iskcon and die in Iskcon. Our dying means is to make sure that we carry few of us, few devotees who are also inspired to be. That's the idea. Okay, I'll stop here. If there is any questions or comments or maybe reflections, you can take.
One thing, Guru
I'm
Maharaj,
not boring. I'm not boring.
I want to share one thing I want to share with Guru Maharaj has told. No one can even remember. At the time, this Ritvik thing has happened. So Guru Maharaj came and I was asking about him. He said, he's my son. Don't tell anything about him. He will become okay. He will come back.
Yeah.
So like that, Guru Maharaj never want anyone to talk anything about
anyone. You're absolutely right. In fact, Guru Maharaj did say that he has sort of missed out two very intelligent disciples about the Ritvik. I am a product of the Ritvik temple. My initiation is extremely unique. My initiation was never in an Iskcon premises. My initiation was outside Iskcon premises, the first initiation in the Ritvik period. I was initiated in a temple called Panduranga Vittala temple in Bangalore. So these kind of things is absolutely mind-boggling, because the instructions of the spiritual master is the time when you meet the spiritual master for the first time or even before it, because someone or the other would have brought us to here. And then, like for example, the first time I met Guru Maharaj was in early 90s in the temple. He gave a class and he was so fantastically, he was presenting Ramayana in a very melodramatic format, very beautifully, showing with a lot of actions. I don't know whether you have heard his earlier lectures. Like, for example, if he says Rama is taking a bow and arrow and he's shooting and ahoo and all, he'll do all these kind of this thing. Now also he does that sound and noise and he'll show a lot of things like that. And that is really amazing. I was wondering, who is this person who is a Westerner who knows more about our Indian culture than even an Indian fellow who is sitting and eating some pan and drinking coffee. So this is our spiritual master. He's more Indian than the Indians, if you think. So, but here is a spiritual master not from this world. Prabhupada has mentioned, and N.D. Desai has mentioned, which is all very factual, right? He is an associate of Lord Chaitanya, and that's made very sure that he'll be part of this entire. And so finally, Guru Maharaj said one thing recently, sometime back, maybe in the last year sometime. He said, whatever activities which we are performing in Krishna consciousness, it is a part of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So we are a part of that pastime. So we should be extremely proud. We should be extremely joyful to have such a glorious and illustrious spiritual master whom we have taken the shelter at his lotus feet. For those who are yet to get initiated, or those who are in the process of getting initiated, you don't have to feel low about it. You are already connected with the spiritual master. That's the key factor of our success, right?
And our Guru Maharaj is definitely from Chaitanya Loka because he's Bengali. এত ভালো করে কথা বলেন, পরিষ্কার একদম বাংলার মতন কথা বলেন. I am also not from Calcutta, but I'm not a Tamil. I'm a Tamilian, but I stayed for 20 years. But Guru Maharaj in 3 months he learned Bengali.
Yeah.
So actually he spoke, and Prabhupada was so happy that his Hindi also is like a Bengali. ऐसे condition नहीं चलेगा, बहुत कष्ट पता है. He talks like a Bengali person.
Bengali. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah.
And when Bangladeshi came, he was attending the lecture. He said, Guru Maharaj, আপনি কি করে ভক্ত হলেন? আরেকবার বলো. He said, tell me once more. আপনি কি করে ভক্ত হলেন? আমি ভক্ত এখনো হয়নি বাবা, এখন আমি চেষ্টা করছি. He told me, Bhakta. I'm still trying to become a Bhakta. So he's really Uttam Adhikari. He's not joking. From the heart, he's speaking.
Exactly.
And Guru Maharaj has got so much power. When he sees you, he can see you top to bottom. He takes a complete picture.
Well, he will not see you. He will see you through.
Yes.
He will see you through, and he will see someone else behind you. So that's the way he looks at. But one thing is the kind of compassion he has, unimaginable. He is completely a sold out Prabhupada disciple who is completely compassionate personified. I will give you an example of one devotee from Bangladesh. He came. This was in 2003, I think, in Gaur Purnima time, just before the Vyasa Puja in Mayapur. And when the initiation happens, we used to actually carry a bucket in those days. The bucket used to have coins because these Bengali devotees, they did not have so much money for Guru Dakshina. So they used to, I don't know how many of you have seen 5 paisa coin, 1 paisa coin, 10 paisa coins, 25 paisa coin. Now we are seeing 10 rupees, 100 rupees. I don't know whether 10 rupees exist in circulation. But these devotees, they literally did not have even any money. But they gave and sold out their heart to Guru Maharaj. And the way in which they used to come, one devotee came, he had some money. I think it was a 20 rupees note or 50 rupees note. And he had fully crunched inside his this thing, mushti. And then he came and said, Guru Maharaj, and he gave it to Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj said, what is this? And he didn't open it. Guru Maharaj also took it like this. He also ordered it like this. He kept it in his head and he gave it back. He said that, this is my blessing to you. You take this and go back to your place and serve.
Yeah.
You can imagine this. This is a compassion. He knew that this person doesn't have any money. But he did not discredit it. He did not discard it. He said, I will take it on your behalf, whatever you are giving it for Prabhupada, and then I'm giving back. So this is the way a spiritual master can inspire all of us. Let us show the same amount of compassion, because at this point of time, Iskcon needs a lot of compassion to other fallen souls, other living entities, and even among our own devotees. We need to be tolerant. We need to be patient. We need to be compassionate. And this is a special instruction from Guru Maharaj to us. Let's learn that, because we are actually imbibing the mood and message of Lord Chaitanya. Parama Karuna Bahudaye Jana. They have Parama Karunas. They are completely compassionate. Otherwise, impossible for us. We are not able to chant 16 rounds. We are not able to take Krishna Prasadam. We are not able to follow anything. But still, Lord Chaitanya is still accommodating us. Okay, you're failing? That's okay. Come up again. Give another test. Keep trying, keep trying. This is Lord Chaitanya's mood. This is Lord Chaitanya's devotee's mood. Guru Maharaj's mood is just simply that. I have never seen him telling that chant your 16 rounds before 8 o'clock in the morning. No. But he is saying that, can you follow the regulatory principles? Can you chant 16 rounds? Can you assist me in serving Srila Prabhupada's message and movement? Right? So this is what Guru Maharaj is. So let's all try to give a big attempt from our own life for the rest of our life. Whatever Lord Chaitanya he will empower us, he will keep us in good practice and good stead. But let's all try one final attempt for Guru Maharaj's pleasure and become more and more stronger, so that Guru Maharaj also comes out, he comes back to Mayapur Dham and then gives us his blessings from there, and to all the devotees who are exclusively waiting for him to be seen there, and then we will be able to get energy and enthusiasm in serving Srila Prabhupada. Okay? We
Guru
will
Maharaj
chant
never
one
tells us
time.
to do Nirjal Ekaji, never tells. No need of Nirjal, because he says, why you should suffer? You must eat and do.
That's interesting. Yeah. Let's chant one time for Guru Maharaj's pleasure and for his own well-being, health wise, and then we can be very indebted. We are all indebted to Guru Maharaj. So at least let's do from our side what we can. Okay? Right. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai,
Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai. His Grace Vishal Gauranga Prabhu ki Jai ho.
Jai.
विशाल गौरंग प्रभु की जय हो। हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु।
Dana Pranam.
विशाल गौरंग प्रभु, हाउ आर यू प्रभु?
Hare Krishna. I didn't expect you, Kanakal Prabhu, here.
You remember my name, but I forgot
Why
your
I
name.
can't? Why I can't remember? You're not new man. You're an old man.
Oh, so nice to see you after a long time. My
Pranam, see
God.
you. Hare Krishna.
He is a London wala. He's become London wala.
No. I'm in America. I'm in America now.
Oh, you're in America now. Good.
You are in where? London or
London.
Yeah, outside of London. Yeah, there is a place called Reading, which is closer to Oxford. I live there.
Oh, very nice, very nice. How long you are there?
Another 15 years.
15 years. Okay, very good. We also came in America 2013. We are got a green card. Everything we are settling here.
Jai.
Is there any blue card? Then I can also attempt.
Yeah. Here, yellow card, blue card, except red card. Everything.
I'm already some card holder.
Hare Krishna.
I have Iskcon life member card. That's enough for me.
Yeah. That is more
Hare
important.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Akshay Prabhu, over to you.
Yeah.
Send me your phone number
Anupul Keshav Prabhuji is
because
there,
I
I
wanted to
think.
keep in touch. Okay.
We'll do that.
Okay. Hari Bol. Jai Guru Maharaj.
Prabhu, I also want to update your number. I don't know. I'm not in touch with you. Vishal.
I will send you across, Prabhu. I will send you across. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Akshay Gaura Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare
Anupul
Krishna.
Keshav
Hare.
Prabhuji is there, I think. So Anupul Keshav Prabhuji, are you there, Prabhuji?
Yeah,
if
I'm
he's
there.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Actually, you are telling direct instructions. Once Kuruma came, I picked him at airport. I not shared. Then in car he asked, why you not shared? Any bow you are taken? I said, no. Then he simply one line he said, Prabhupada said, you should be always clean shaved. From that onwards, I am following that. I try to keep shave clean.
Right.
And
Anupul,
once again, what happened? No. On Guru Maharaj's room, I was there. So evening initiation was there. So Guru Maharaj shaved evening. Then he comes out from the washroom and asks me, I have shaved and cool. Shall I take bath or without bath I can go for initiation? I said, you decide, Guru Maharaj, why you are asking me? No, you have to tell me. What should I do? Shall I take bath or go without bath? I can go. I said, if you have to take bath, if you can take action. Yes, you are right. I'll take bath. So that way sometimes we behave like a guru and sometimes we make like a child like that too.
Yeah. More,
Guru
Prabhu,
Maharaj,
more. Anukul Prabhu, more. Tell us more.
That you were telling that one time we were Gada building after Bhisham Panchika last day. Guru Maharaj used to stand near gate, and after Prasadam, disciple, everybody used to give some dakshina, and to Guru Maharaj was standing. When she used to bring every day Ganga water for Guru Maharaj. That one Mataji initiated disciple. So she Bengali lady, poor lady. She collect whole year to give donation to Guru Maharaj. Change something like that. And she gave Guru Maharaj. Then Guru Maharaj said, no, I won't take from you. She started crying. Guru Maharaj said, okay, put a can of chadar. He said, okay, put whatever you want. Then she put all coins in her hand and notes, whatever there, she put in there. And okay, then Guru said, wait. Then Guru Maharaj, after collection, whatever came, he collected in a hand without seeing how much is there and say, okay, this is from me to give to you. She said, no, I don't want to take from Guru. He said, it is an instruction, Guru. You gave, I took it. Now it's my instruction. You take this money and go.
Right.
So that way is very practical, and you see what requirement is there. When you was talking, I was remember another thing also. Somebody ask actually that Guwahati president, his name is his son was kidnapped, and they were asking 25 lakh rupees, and he was not having any money. So Guru said, okay, you negotiate, I'll arrange money for you. But without giving money, they got released actually. So that was there actually.
Amazing.
And memory, last time Guru Maharaj came 2 years back to Bangalore. So my cook, who used to help my wife to cooking, he went to see Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj said, Dharmendra. And then he said, I want a photo. Guru said, okay, you come stand here. He remembered Guru Maharaj to him actually.
Amazing.
So after, at least you can say, 10 to 14 years, after almost 14 years, he remembered him actually.
Yeah. It's amazing.
memory is fantastic.
Yeah. Present.
Once I was traveling with Guru Maharaj from Bangalore to Bangalore. So there was no evening flight from Bangalore. So we sent tempo travel from here. And we took out some seat, and my wife sent Guru Maharaj bed. Bed was there. And Guru Maharaj sleeping on bed. Night, I was sitting on the seat nearby. I also felt slept. And I don't know what time I fell down on bed actually. So Guru Maharaj wake me after some time. He said, okay, if you are sleepy, you do one thing. You put your head on my leg side, feet side, and your leg my head side. Suddenly I got up and back. I ran away backside. I said, okay, what are you telling me? He's so merciful actually. He felt I'm tired, so he said, okay, you sleep like this.
Yeah.
Chalo.
Very
Okay,
much
thank you.
Prabhu.
We
Thank you for hearing from you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to you. See you later.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing the wonderful
Hare
pastime.
Krishna.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Prabhuji, there is a
All right, I
question.
think we are running over of time.
Yes, Prabhuji. If you have time, Prabhuji, like there is one question in chat. If you would like to take.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there is a question. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam. Thank you for the session. Much to reflect and apply. For many devotees, as you mentioned today, even once they hear some instruction, it impacts them so much, and they take it as their life and soul. But some, like me, new and dull, are not fired up immediately to pick up and keep thinking, I will do it. The mindset does not change drastically to take up as a life and soul. How can people like me get more inspired and surrendered? What steps we can practically take so that we can also take every instruction as our life and soul, especially as you mentioned, personal encounters with Guru Maharaj keep us going, but we will never even get such chance. So what all we can do to get the same inspiration and increase our surrender services more and more. So even like Prabhuji, I went to glorification session of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj yesterday. There also I was hearing devotees, they Maharaj just say one thing and then devotees are doing it their whole life. So this applies to me as well. Like we also hear, but don't do so.
True. Actually, it's a very, very inspiring, good question. Actually, this is very needed for us.
Yes.
There are a lot of, I will give you some practical points. There are a lot of Prabhupada disciples who have never come to India. You will be astonished. Prabhupada had around 10,000 disciples, practically around 6,700 disciples. There is a website called prabhupadadisciples.com. You go there, you will see all the Prabhupada disciples' names being mentioned. There are many, many disciples in US, in UK. have never come to India. Many disciples of Prabhupada who have never seen Prabhupada at all in person, but they are active in Krishna consciousness. So how do they get that? It's not that Prabhupada gave them direct instructions to them, but Prabhupada gave that standard instructions to all the disciples, devotees of Iskcon world. So they have taken that as an inspiration and they're continuing to do so. How many of us get a chance practically in all aspects, in a very practical at the ground level, to go and meet Guru Maharaj? Imagine he has around 5,000. This time in Mayapur during the Vyasa Puja, more than 25,000 devotees were there. If Guru Maharaj had to be there in the stage, if 25,000 devotees have to come and meet him, that's going to be a havoc. We have to be realistic. Even though he is a public figure, he also needs to be given that privacy space, right? So how do we get this kind of inspiration? Even if we are a dull head, it doesn't matter. This is Lord Chaitanya's moment. It is completely an audarya. It is not a madhurya, it is audarya. It's mercy. We are based on mercy. We are living our life based on mercy. Take inspiration from those people who are practically practicing this and get connected with them. Because sometimes you will not find everyone. You can see the disciples are identified by the spiritual master, and the spiritual master is identified by how best the disciples are practicing.
Okay. Thank you.
And this is very important for us. So we need to be very conscious about it, that we practice Krishna consciousness with the same enthusiasm as if you see someone else who is practicing Krishna consciousness with a higher level of enthusiasm. So it doesn't need to be that you need to follow whatever all the instructions are. You need to be contemplating on your head that you need to do all this. Oh my God, that's too much for me. It's going to tax me a lot. You don't need to think that way. Take what you can. Always make sure that your plate is not overflowing. You be very realistic. Be very pragmatic and practical in your approach. Take up Krishna consciousness. But you should be enthusiastic. Utsaha nisya dhairya tatta karma pravartana. That utsaham has to be there. You have to have that enthusiasm in any way, in everywhere, wherever you are. Whether you are in India, or in Australia, or in USA, or in England, or whichever place. Because Prabhupada has given us a beautiful temple, beautiful house, where the entire world can live inside that roof. So this is how our practice of Guru Maharaj is. You can see him. When in the olden times, Guru Maharaj, he used to give a lot of time to a lot of devotees. That time is a different story. Now, it is a different story. You have to understand him. There is a different aspects. Guru Maharaj is giving us the inspirations through his own disciples. There are so many wonderful devotees in India who are enthusiastically preaching. They are all taken on so serious practices, and senior devotees are there for us to inspire, and we should take shelter of them. And that will give us more enthusiasm to practice. End of the day, you came alone, you have to go alone. So the Guru can only guide you till that point that you are fit enough to go alone, go back to garden. So he is your guide for that aspect. Even when you are going, you have to go alone. Guru will not come. Only Krishna will come with you, right? But your enthusiasm will actually give you enough space for you to go back to garden. So take up that practice. That's my understanding. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. So
all right.
from Mataji as well. So, Thank you for a very practical answer, Prabhuji. I also try to imbibe this in my life as well. Yeah. And like in the starting, you told like we have received some personal instructions. So actually, I never thought about it till now. So I'll also check all the emails that I have received from Guru Maharaj till now if there is something. And that
Yes, definitely. These are very important for all of us because it is not that everyone gets a chance to meet, everyone gets a chance to get an email. There are many devotees who don't even have any email. Forget about email. They don't even have phones. Email, mobile phones or something. But then are they not enthusiastic and inspired to serve Guru Maharaj? You go to Mayapur, you go to Bengal. There are so many household Matajis. You go near them, you will see the vibration of Lord Chaitanya. They're full empowered. Lord Chaitanya's full blessings is that they'll be, emanating that mercy. So many wonderful devotees are there. One time I saw in Namata, in Mayapur Namata building. So if you can realistically see how much love they have for Lord Chaitanya. One very old devotee, he was sitting in one corner and he was worshipping his Gaur Nitai. He did not have a room. He came for Vyasa Puja. He did not have a room. He did not have anything. All he had was one small place where he just made it, but he was worshipping Lord Chaitanya so nicely. We have been given so much facility, but still we are not able to do that amount of love and aspect of serving the Lord. So we need to take all those things. This is very important for us.
Yes.
All right. Okay. We seek any offenses unknowingly, knowingly at anyone's lotus feet. It is not my intention to belittle anyone. They are wonderfully placed Vaishnavas here, and I seek their prayers and blessings on me so that I am a little bit Krishna conscious the rest of my life, so that I am an instrument at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Vanchakalpatarvyasak Vasandebhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo. Anantapati Vaishnav Vrind ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki
Yeah.
Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki
Yeah.
Thank you, Akshay Prabhu, for hosting, and it's nice. Please keep this going on. This is a lifeline, so don't let it go. This is Anadi's inspiration and enthusiasm. We have done many things like this, so it's like that. Bring Sukhakar Prabhu once again on the forum. Make him speak. Don't allow his mouth to be zipped. Always make it opened, so that he keeps on talking about Guru Maharaj. He has a lot of mercy on Guru Maharaj. Entire Saja Yatra, Prabhu was taking care. So, and then a lot of instructions has come to Sukhakar Prabhu, and it's very nice. So there are many wonderful devotees here. So please connect and bring them all one by one. Every Thursday, keep it going. Okay? Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Gaur Premanande. Hare Bol.
So we would like to thank Prabhu by chanting one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for giving us this wonderful association. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Please keep me in your prayers every day. Just remember me and then kindly bless me so that I become Krishna conscious. That's all I need.
We all
Thank you.
also pray to you, Prabhu. Please bless us so that we can also.
I'll get a chance, definitely. When I go to the temple, I'll pray to Radha Londoneshwara for all of your spiritual progress.
Thank you.
Hari Bol. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण अक्षय प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु।
अभी गुरु में थोड़ा इम्प्रूव हो रहा है क्या?
हाँ प्रभु जी, मैं कल माधव कांत प्रभु जी से बात हुई थी। मैं दिल्ली टेम्पल गया था कल। ग्लोरिफिकेशन था गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज का। तो वो बोल रहे थे कि अभी इम्प्रूवमेंट है। तो गुरु महाराज पहले जैसे कॉन्शियस नहीं थे, अब कॉन्शियस है और थोड़ा थोड़ा बोल पा रहे हैं।
तो भी मायापुर जाएंगे, मायापुर जाना है उनको कैसे भी। वो टीवी भी करना है, उसके लिए बैठे महाराज।
Actually, let me just stop the recording and tell him.